Quran 9 verse 29. It says, kill those who don't believe in Allah, even the people of the book.
But you have to understand that those came at a specific time and context when the Muslims were being attacked.
And they were not referring to...
they're not referring to...
no Muslims in general. They're referring to specifically Quraysh members.
Exactly.
And it's evidenced by his life by the fact that he didn't go out and kill people like...
That's the problem.
He didn't kill him and the Nagus, for example, of Istania were like really good friends. Like,
yeah.
But see, the point is, because you believe in something, because you believe in Islam, you're trying to defend it. But see, you have to face the reality. I think I was Muslim.
Here's what it is. I believe in my humanity, and the idea that I somehow worship some sort of like violent demon worshiping religion, you're taking the worst examples of humanity that are in Muslim and you're generalizing it to us.
I'll take Muhammad as an example.
The same argument that people use when they target any other group of people.
Absolutely.
Oh, all the Christians are evil. Oh, all the Jews are evil. You know, this is a Jew with a pretty face.
You can say, do you know there's twice as many violent verses in the Bible than there are in the Quran. So you would
it's not a matter of comparison.
But it's not a matter of, but what I'm saying is you can take anything out of context and consider it to be something violent. But if you come to a religion with violence in your heart, you're going to be violent. If you come to a religion with love in your heart, you're going to have love. It's all the individual.
I come to a religion that can change me, put love in my heart. If I have love, I don't need a religion. I come to a faith that can change my heart. And
but what I'm saying is the individual brings their perspective and their life experiences into whatever they practice.
Because you're even quoting verses from the Quran that aren't even interpreted that way by the vast majority of Muslims.
If I could be a good person, I didn't need Islam or any other religion.
And you're perfectly free to have that. We support atheists, we support agnostics. Anyone is free to do what they want to do.
Are you a Muslim?
Yes.
Anybody comes against you because you're a Muslim? No. I've been in America. Nobody has come against me because I come from an Islamic country. Nobody has, no discrimination, no attack, no bias, nothing.
Yeah.
But in my own country, look at the
But then you're discounting all the women who have been attacked for wearing hijab. You're discounting the Bangladeshi woman who was
Just
killed.
Yesterday,
the imam who was killed.
Go to Malibu in the Malibu park. So many Muslims. Nobody bothered.
Right, but there are still incidences of violence against Muslims in this country, and we can't pretend that it doesn't exist.
There's no discrimination against Muslims whatsoever.
You know what? I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because we don't agree.
Because we can't hear it. Because we cannot hear it.
But you're not hearing me either.
No, I hear you. I've been here for so long. Because see,
I was born here.
I was born in Iran under the fist of Islam.
Yeah, we have to wrap this up.
I was born and raised under the fist of Islam. You haven't seen the reality of Islam.
And we refute the tyranny and the bigotry that you see in other parts of the Islamic world. That's all that there is to say.
We fight against tyranny.
But even what you're doing unknowingly, you are giving a good picture. You're giving a good face of Islam, which is very evil, and that's the problem.
Would you repeat that?
Yes. Some people who basically claim to be Muslims, and they have no idea what Islam says, or they do, and they're trying to mislead people. What they do, they give a good picture of Islam, and they say, oh, Islam is peaceful, Islam loves everybody. But based upon what text? Based upon what example? Did Muhammad have an example? We cannot look at a bunch of people and then basically decide based upon those people that an ideology is legitimate. We look at the ideology and we examine the ideology by itself. That what did Muhammad do? What did he say? He's the founder of Islam.
But is that strict interpretation, or that
it's a plain
hateful? Is it being?
Yes, it's a plain interpretation. You don't have to even interpret. Just look at the text and you see the things Muhammad did, the things Muhammad said. Muhammad married a 9-year-old girl when he was 50 years old.
He married?
Yes, he married and he slept with a girl who was 9 years old when himself was in his 50s. So somebody who is supposed to be an example to the rest of the world probably should not have been sleeping with a 9-year-old girl. And that's the point, that we have been, those so-called peaceful Muslims are giving a good picture of Islam, while Islam has nothing to do with peace, nothing to do with tolerance, nothing to do with accepting others. It's all hate, it's all killing, it's all intolerance. Look at Pakistan. Can Christians and Jews find peace in Pakistan? Can Christians and Jews find peace in Iran? Can Christians and Jews find peace in Saudi Arabia? Can Jews and Christians find peace in Iraq and in Syria and in other countries? They have been victims of Sharia law, victims of Islam. And what is so sad is to see that some Muslims who never tasted the reality of Islam, they're trying to give a good picture of Islam and to portray Islam as a peaceful religion. That some people have taken it out of context or to extreme and they're abusing it. But this is the reality of Islam. Islam sounds peaceful where it doesn't have power. But the moment they gain power, Islam gets its own way, then it becomes violent. And that's exactly what Muhammad did. That's why in Quran we see so many contradictions. Muhammad, in one place he says, oh, Jews and Christians are the people of the book. Then we see in other places it says, kill the Jews and the Christians and those who don't believe in Allah. So which is which? Muhammad said that peaceful verse when he didn't have much power, when he was in Mecca. Then when he moved to Medina, the same person, Muhammad said, kill those who don't believe in Allah. Kill them. That's why if you look at Saudi Arabia's flag, you see it says there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. So there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. And then underneath there's a sword, meaning this was the motto, this was their message. Either you believe in Allah or we treat you with a sword. And that's exactly what I'm against. And Islam is very evil, very, very evil. And Islam hates people who don't believe and agree with it. In fact, the word Islam means submit. It's a command. You have to submit to the tyranny of Islam. You have to submit to the law of Islam. You have to submit to the force of Islam and to what Islam tells you. You have to submit. If you don't, then they treat you with a sword. And this is not just in a book. We see it in reality. We see it in Muslim countries, and both in action and in theory. We see it, and it's so sad to see some people are so deluded and so deceived that can't even believe that.
But when she's saying that her brand of Islam is true and the others are distortions, is she right?
Well, based upon what text? Based upon what text people believe that Islam is peaceful? Show me the text. And the radicals also bring their texts and their verses. And I mean, the ISIS, when they burned that Jordanian pilot, they put a Quran verse down there that says, burn the enemies and the enemies of Islam. So who is the enemy? Anybody who does not submit to Islam is an enemy. That's exactly what Quran says. Anybody who does not submit to Islam is an enemy. Look at it. Saudi Arabia, 1400 years ago, was a place like Los Angeles or New York. People had different ideologies. People worship God or they worship idols. Jews, Christians, everybody was free. Khadija was a Jewish woman who was a businesswoman. And Muhammad worked for her, and Muhammad was his wife. It was Muhammad's wife. Khadija was Muhammad's wife. And the thing is here, 1400 years later, Saudi Arabia, women cannot even drive. There is no one single church, one single synagogue, one single temple in Saudi Arabia. So what happened to all those people with diversity in Saudi Arabia? What happened? It disappeared because Islam cannot tolerate anything but Islam. So that's a sad day and a sad thing.
So are you saying that that it's justifiable to oppose Islam as a humanitarian interest?
Well, that's the problem. They are trying to justify Islam, and some people say, "Oh, let us give them a chance." Well, we have given them a chance.
No, I'm asking that your interest is humanitarian to protect people in Arab countries or
Yes.
Persian countries.
Exactly. I'm for the people because people are the victims of the ideology of Islam, and this is not something new. This is not something new that goes back to 100 years ago or 50 years ago or 20 years ago. This is something that has been going on for 1400 years. Ottoman Empire, they killed 1,500,000 Armenians. Muhammad himself, he killed thousands upon thousands of Jews and Christians and minorities and people who believe differently. So this is not something new. This is the continuation of an agenda to take over the world. What we know as crusades and when the Europeans raided against Muslims was when the Muslims were trying to take over the Europe. And then the people in Europe unified and they pushed them back all the way to Middle East. So this is something historical, something factual, something documented, something that is in Quran. The texts support what the Muslims do, what ISIS does, and it's absolutely absurd to see that some people are trying to defend Islam while it can't be defendable. I mean, take it to any court, Islam cannot be defendable. Islam is hiding under the umbrella of religion, while Islam has nothing to do with the religion. It's an ideology of hate and killing. It's like a form of fascism and Nazism hiding under the umbrella of religion. And it's so sad that it's getting its own way, and it's getting its way as a religion.
Would you say that the rally here today is meant to soften America's defenses against Islamic domination?
Well, Islam has two forces. One of the forces of Islam is that one of the forces of Islam are in the Western countries say, oh, we're peaceful, we're good people. But back there, behind them, there's an army of violent people who are killing others. So which one we are to believe? Then we go to the text of Quran. And we go to the latter texts of Quran. And in the Quran, we see that Islam says that kill those who don't believe in Allah. And Quran says kill the minorities. Anybody who does not submit to Islam is a kafir or infidel, must be killed. Jews and Christians. And for example, Christians believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Okay? And in Quran, in Surah 9, the verse 29 and 30, it says those who call Jesus the Son of God, it says they are deluded and Allah's curse be upon them. So this is what Islam is teaching. This is the hatred that Islam is portraying. And Islam is not peaceful at all. And we need to be vigilant, and we need to be careful who we let in this country, who we allow to come to this country. I mean, Europeans, look at Europe. They opened their arms wide open and allowed thousands of refugees to come to their countries. America is the most refugees have been accepted by U.S. government, by U.S., and they have come to the United States. You look at the Muslim neighborhoods, Muslim places in Michigan and in Chicago and different areas in Minnesota. They're free, they're living their lives. They have their job, they have their business. Nobody discriminates against them because nobody knows what Islam is. But thank God for media and for the internet day that people can see the reality of Islam in other part of the world. And we see that, I mean, those 19 terrorists who committed the 9/11. Did anybody hate them? Did anybody discriminate against them? Did anybody was mean to them? No. They do this because they believe in an ideology. They believe this because Islam is wicked and there's nothing peaceful about Islam. Islam is the problem. Islam is the ideology of hate, and we need to defeat it. We need to stand against it. And I see the day, and I pray, and I wish that we have a day that Islam become illegal in the Western countries, and even in Muslim countries. Even in Muslim countries, I can tell you in Iran, 80% of people hate Islam because they have been not a victim of a regime, but an ideology. Women have been oppressed by men because of what Islam says. Islam says that women are half of a man. The value of a woman is half of a man. So we see that the hatred that Islam is portraying.
Okay.